What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts? Welcome to Lactic Acid. I am your host, Dominique Smith. Today, I have a certified baller shot caller. He ran Central Florida in the 100, the 200, and continues to put on for the 407. That is Orlando. If you do not know where that is, represent. He's balling out, and guess what? You may see him on the medal stand in Budapest and beyond. Mr. Marvin Bracy-Williams Jr. is the guest. What's going on, man? How you doing?
So I'm good, man. I'm good. And yourself?
Hey, no complaints. I feel bad that you got the little next jersey on because they can use that this year. They can
Yeah, they're
use it to
struggling
help
right now, man. They're
because
struggling
they
right
are.
now, dog.
Hey, but the Knowles pulled it out, man. So you know, like I
Yeah, my
said,
weekend was successful.
at least one team. Listen, I'm catching L's all over the place. I'm
Yeah,
an
me too,
Ohio
man.
State. I'm an Ohio State fan. We got boat raced by Michigan. I like North Carolina. We just lost in triple overtime, and the Magic
Yeah.
lose every day.
Magic lose
So
every day, dog. Good God, bro.
every day, and I don't even know. I've struggled long enough. I thought this was going to be the year, but apparently it's next year, and I don't even know that. But let's start this off on a positive note, because like I said, at least one person in Orlando is catching W's, and he's on this show today.
Yes, sir.
I've been asking people this question. We're in the holiday season, and let's just say there's a couple companies that took note of you. Let's say it was Food Network and ESPN. They said this bro Marvin Bracy Jr. is putting it on. His swag is at another level. It's what the sport needs. It's not just what this sport needs, it's what all sports needs. And we need to elevate that greatness that he puts out on the track day in and day out. ESPN said we're going to do a promotion and we're going to join in with Food Network. We're going to do a promotion to celebrate that and to get him going at end of the year promotion to celebrate the holidays and obviously everything that you did this year. ESPN wants to know if there is a sporting event that you would want to be the guest of honor where all eyes are on you. You get a chance to choose it. You get a chance to be the captain. You get the all world experience, and they're going to name that entire weekend after you. So if it's the Classic, it's the Marvin Bracy Classic. If it's the Super Bowl, it's the Marvin Bracy Super Bowl. So ESPN want to know that from you. Food Network said, all right, no, we got to be a part of this. We want to put whatever meal he wants to on any restaurant, at any restaurant, on any menu in the United States. So you get to choose whatever dish you want, and they're going to make it happen for you. They're going to put it on the menu and everywhere. So I need the sporting event, and I need the food, the go-to meal that you want.
Um, okay. The sporting event might be kind of easy. Uh, I would actually go with the Super Bowl. You know, football, my favorite sport. Obviously, I walked away from track to play football. Didn't really work out how I wanted it to, but I watch it religiously. I would choose a Super Bowl because, like shit, that's one of like the highest grossing like sporting events like all time. Like everybody, even if you're not a football fan, you're gonna watch the Super Bowl. Whether it's people watching for the commercials, watching for the entertainment, don't really care who win, you know what I'm saying? So I would definitely choose the Super Bowl. As far as a meal goes though, uh it gotta be some soul food. Like it gotta be like I'm talking about the whole soul food combo. We need the cornbread, we need the collard greens, we need the mac and cheese. We need, man, you gotta do it right though. Like it gotta be
Okay.
soul food, man. You gotta do it right.
I'm going to get to that in a minute because I had Olivia Baker on here. And Olivia she lives in Atlanta. We're on the 800. And
Yeah.
we had a whole conversation about this and how Atlanta is not just above what we got here in Orlando. So we're going to get back to that in a minute. But I got to ask this question. Do you think Orlando is ready to host the Super Bowl?
Ooh, that's a
I
really
say
good
no.
question, man.
I
I
say
don't
no.
think so. I don't no, I don't.
I
I
say
mean,
no,
if
man.
Minnesota can do it, bro, Orlando can do it. Okay, so now I'm gonna say yes, bro. Like we host bowl games, man. I think that we can do. I think we can do the Super Bowl. I think we can. I
But
think we can do it,
that's different though. Like I get the bowl
man.
games. Okay, but here's the thing. Everything in Orlando closes at 9 o'clock. Like you got to go to international, like deep in the international drive, and then all that stuff closes at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if we can do it.
But
I
think
mean, I
about it. Think
get
about it like this though. So you got to basically for Super Bowl. Sunday, Super Bowl weekend, whatever it is, from Friday to that Sunday, like, or Friday to Monday. Listen, y'all need to like change the laws. Like, y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, man, just for this weekend, like, we ain't closing at no 2 o'clock. Like, y'all gotta give people time to, you know what I'm saying, gotta do it up. But
Yeah,
Minnesota, bro, they had the Super Bowl in Minnesota.
yeah, in
I don't even
February.
know, outside of the Mall of America, what is in Minnesota.
I don't know.
So I
I
think I
don't
think the
know.
I think the I think the I think the landscape and everything definitely big enough, man. Obviously, it would be at the Citrus Bowl, and that's
Yeah.
prime time.
Oh,
You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah.
I think it will bring a lot of buzz. Now from a capacity standpoint, that's the Citrus Bowl can't hold that many people.
No.
So no, but no, I think the city's ready for it. So we need something, man. We had a Pro Bowl, we need
But
something.
that's 7-on-7. Like
Yeah,
that ain't you can go out there
yeah.
and run go routes and everything. See, that's tough. Like you drive by and like the Paramore area and downtown on Church Street where Camping World is, the traffic sucks. The and I hate that I'm crapping on the city, but if you anybody who been in downtown Orlando for 5 minutes can understand what I'm saying. You
I
know
grew up
it's
in
hard.
Paramount, man. Be easy. I grew up in
Oh no
Paramount.
no 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 no! Listen, no. I'm talking about the structure, like the
Oh
roads and
yeah,
that
no,
stuff.
it's fucking
I
terrible. It's
don't mess
terrible,
with
man.
nobody. Listen, I don't mess with nobody from Paramore. I don't want that smoke. No, I'm good, good.
No,
But
it's
like,
nah. I mean, I know what you're saying though. I know what you're saying though. Yeah, it
but
ain't
just the roads, just driving. There's like potholes going to Lake Eola. It's not even just a Paramore issue. It's just a downtown Orlando issue.
that
There's
whole yeah.
there's nowhere to park and everything, and people charging like $50 to park into the lots and all that stuff. There's nowhere to park, and so.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
But I feel you. Like everybody wants a baseball team. It's like we don't need no baseball team. We have this big old football stadium. UCF doesn't play in it. They have their own stadium. I mean, it's good.
Yeah,
We have the bowl games. The Magic suck, but like it generates buzz. But
we gonna get
I
it together,
think
man. We gonna get it together within like the next 3-4 years. We gonna get it together.
we should. I think they need to renovate Camping World again. Need to expand the seating and stuff. Got to get the. If you don't renovate it, just shut it down. Just tear it down and start over and build like a 90,000 seat stadium, um, and just like go from there. Because I would love to see. I mean, Orlando, and shout out to Track Shack because Orlando's hosting the marathon trials, and
Marathon, yeah,
I would love to see us get in on some track meets and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and we're about to jump into it, but you ran here. You know that it shuts down for football, and when these fast runners, especially when South Florida meets Central Florida, or just the different meets from because everybody knows each other, everybody's competing with each other. We can shut down the track meet too, so it would definitely get buzz here, and we definitely have the talent to do so. So I don't know. I'm gonna take your word for it. 3 or 4 years, we hosting something.
We gonna get it. We
If
gonna get it together.
well, here's what we need to do. We need to start baby steps. We need to host the college football semifinal, playoff semifinal.
We can do that.
And,
We can do that.
yeah, we could do that and then build to the Super Bowl. I think we could do that. Everybody in Paramount, I love you. Ain't no smoke on this end. Trust me, there's nothing, nothing like that of the essence. But man, I was telling Marvin before the show, we were talking about it. So everybody on the show knows I born and raised here, still live here in Orlando. Marvin competed for Boone High School. Heck of a football player. So I want to get to that first, man, because I know you hung up the cleats, but you were a bad boy back in the day. I think you were like six on the Sentinel Super 60. You were a ESPN All American. I didn't even go to the game. I just remember you were on like the Sports Center top 10. You had like some stupid catch.
Okay, yeah, and that's that one hand catch, man. I was Odell for Odell, man. All right.
Listen, but
Now I
it's
fuck
like
with
it's
you.
straight. No, but I mean, Odell wasn't doing that at LSU. He just got. I don't want to say he got lucky, but Odell wasn't
Nah, that
doing
boy,
that at
nah,
LSU.
that boy
No,
nice. That boy nice.
no. So I need him on my team, even though we suck. I'm a Colts fan. We need Jesus on that team,
I'm
man.
a Saints fan, dog, so he need to come home, man.
I think y'all need a quarterback.
We need everything, bro.
I got
We need
shout out to my dog Chris Olave, but I don't know. But man, what sparked the love for football? Because as great as you are on the track, you were a dog on the football field.
Being honest with you, bro, I didn't know, I didn't like track growing up. Like I didn't hate it, but I wasn't in love with it. I wanted to play football since I was like 6. So I played for the neighborhood team. Um, my freshman year of high school, I actually left Oak Ridge. I was at Oak Ridge for 5 weeks. I left Oak Ridge, went to
Oh,
Boone.
okay. I
I
know
left
that.
Oak Ridge, went to Boone. Um, and I went out I was too late to join the football team actually. So I didn't play anything my freshman year. I didn't play football. I didn't run track.
Huh.
My sophomore year, I came back out. I was on JV my sophomore year. I was a running back at the time, would score like 2, 3 times a game. Fun fact, I didn't get moved up from JV to varsity my sophomore year.
Okay.
So I just did JV. So then the end of my sophomore year, all my homies was like, man, we're gonna go out for track. I'm like, all right, they're like, you kind of fast, you might as well come out with us. I was like, all right, cool. I ain't got nothing better to do. I went out and I think like my first time running 100, I ran like 1082. So like people was, it was kind of creating some buzz, but sophomore running 10.8, that's pretty good. My very next race, I ran like 1076, and people was like, "Hold on, bro, where you say you from again? What was you at last year?" I was like, "I didn't run last year." So then the next week was the regional champion, the district championship. I won a district championship with like 1058, and I 10.5 as a sophomore. If I ended the season with 10.5 as a sophomore, that's a good year. That's a great year because obviously you improve.
Right.
Um, but the next weekend at the regional championship, I won it with like 1042.
I saw
And
that
these are all legal
1042.
times. So again, for me, bro, this is my first year running track. I don't really know what this means. I don't know what negative win mean. I don't know what positive. I just want to win. That's all I got. That's all I know. Win. So then the next weekend at the state championship, I won a state championship with like 1019, but then it was win dated. And that's kind of how everything just kind of like took off from there. I remember that night, like my coach ended up calling me the next day and he was telling me, he was like, hey man, like LSU, Miami, Florida, they're all asking about you. I'm like, sure, what that mean? He was like, they gonna offer you a scholarship. Scholarship for what? He was like, to come run. They finna pay me to come. Oh, that's what's up. So then, like 4 days later, I played in a spring football game, and they finally had moved me up to varsity. I get on the spring football team. I scored like 3 times in the game, and it was like, hold on, you play football too? And then all of my offers and everything kind of start rolling in, going into my junior year, and then like the rest is history. But I always wanted to play football all my life, man. That's why, like I said, that's why I walked away from the sport of track to go play football because I just felt that passionate about it. And didn't work out. I came back to track, but football was everything.
On the track, I mean, on the football field, I mean, you weren't like 200 pounds, but you ran like tough. It wasn't just like a finesse player. You actually had some toughness to you. I forgot which game it was because I used to go to Boom games too. Um, and Boom still is really good, but Boom
Yeah,
back in the day, Boom made it to the state championship. I
yeah,
think it was
yeah.
like 2009,
2008,
8 against
Miami Northwestern.
Northwestern, which uh
We know how that turned out.
yeah, yeah.
Had a
Just
bad
trying to
night, man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man. At least you made it. At least you made it.
yeah, you made it, but still just the talent that you guys had and you were a part of it because you had to be accounted for. Because honestly, be sitting up in the stands, and then I think you guys had that transfer. I don't. Maybe I get the years mixed up. I know there was a kid from Edgewater that came over that played
James
running back.
Washington. James
James
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah, he
He
was a
went
senior when
to
I was a freshman.
okay. He went to
He went to
NC
NC
State,
State.
and then the next year they said, "Who is this fast kid? Like, where are they finding these kids from?" I remember on the track, like there were 2 kids, and there was so much talent here in Central Florida. There was Popka had a great team. Oak Ridge always had a great team, but it was you and your cousin Kermit Whitfield, who ran for Jones High School, who tore up our
Shout out to
track.
that boy.
Um, and I think the two of you, because I remember you ran a 1019, and then you had beaten, I think it was Walter Dix's time. And I forgot the other dude. And then he ran like 1058 and stuff like that. Then the one I remember, it was a 4x1. I forgot what year. I think we were juniors. It was a 4x1. It was you. You got the anchor. I forgot the kid from Apopka, and then
Oh, it was
you
senior
know,
year. That was at Lake
oh,
Brantley.
I'm seeing you. Yeah, you hawked somebody down.
That was both.
I do.
Both. I got both of them. I got both.
Yeah, at the end, because the kid from Apopka was when Kermit gets the baton, and then he edged him out at like 60, and then all of a sudden you just see it. I'm like, oh my god! Like at the line, like you got both of them. How competitive? And you are a competitor. What is it about just from that mentality? You carried it on now. Everybody see the stuff on Twitter and stuff, and they think, oh, it's fake. Like, oh, they just talking. Like, no, you mean it when you say you coming out.
Yeah.
For blood.
That's what we. So me, like Twitter for me is not like I'm not a Twitter personality. Like that's me being who I am.
Yeah.
Growing up, I come from a big family, man. I got a lot of cousins. And me and Kermit actually were like the younger of the bunch. So, I hung out with cousins that was 4, 5, 6 years older than me. So, if we wanted to, do what they did, you got to take whatever come with it. So if we was out playing football, you get hit hard, you pick it up. They're not gonna feel bad for you. If we was out playing cops and robbers, manhunt, whatever it was, basketball, whatever it was, like whatever happened, it happened. So like as you grow up and you go through that, like they 4 years, 5 years older than us. So think about developmentally, they're so much better than us.
Yep.
And we just got used to it, like we just got used to just what came with it to where we just kind of adjusted. And so as we started competing with people our age, it was like, shit, this ain't nothing compared to, what I'm saying, what I got to deal with, with my people. So coming into, high school sports, like it wasn't a hard adjustment for me because I had already been through hell, like they gonna put it on you. I've already been through the worst, man. So it's like, I don't give a damn about you being bigger, faster, stronger. I play with older people anyway. Like that's what we do. So, me and Kermit also always growing up, it was always Marvin and Kermit, Marvin and Kermit, Marvin and Kermit. We always had like that inner squad rivalry. Like even going back to like Little League football, if he scored a touchdown, now I got to score a touchdown. But then now it's knotted up. So he'll score again, and then I'll score again. And now we done put up 24 points, 28 points on the board. Other team ain't even scored yet. You know what I'm saying? Because we also competing with each other. But it was like, it was like one of those situations where like I wasn't competing to like outshine them. It was more so like I'm competing so that like I'm giving you something to go chase. So when he do something, I'm like, man, I'm not pouting. I'm just like, all right, I gotta get mine. And so it was pretty dope. I think it was my sophomore year, his freshman year, when he went to his district and ran 10:56, and then I went to my district and ran 10:58, and then he went and won a state championship, and then I went and won a state championship, and we just kind of kept like going back and forth. It continued into my professional career, his collegiate career. In 2014, in January is when he ran a kick return back. I went that same year in March and got an indoor silver medal. Should have won, but that's neither here nor there. He ended up getting picked up to the NFL. Well, I ended up going to the Olympics. He made it to the NFL. And so we just keep taking it up a notch.
But that's how you make each other better too. Like it's not just like everybody knows. That's just that's the competitive excellence. That's how you make each other better, and it's clearly paid off because you played in the NFL. I know you played for a couple teams. I'm telling you, man. There's a few teams that still need you.
Listen,
if
they give me that call. Well, I actually went to the I went to the Rams and the Rams. I went to the Ravens and Giants game. It was a great game. Giants came back and won.
Oh my gosh, everybody needs you, dog. They need speed.
Something.
They need something. The Rams. Some of these teams, I don't even know. The Rams need you. They need a receiver other than Cooper Kupp.
He's hurt.
I know, but he will still try to throw it to him, like if he was still in the vicinity, and everything. What was your most memorable race? Mine, I think, was States. I could have this wrong, but I think you pulled your hamstring or something, and you still ran like 10-4 and like whooped everybody.
Yeah, ran 10:50. No, that was the crazy thing is that was up here in Jacksonville at UNF. Yeah. That's actually where I live I train at UNF right now. That was in Jacksonville my senior year. I ended up pulling it at like 60 or 70 meters. But I mean, I was like, shit, I'm already running. I will keep going. I ain't gonna hurt any less. So I just finished doing. I ran like 10:52. Yeah, man, I was sick. I was trying to be like the first high school kid to break 10 seconds. but I think my most memorable race is probably the indoor 55 that I ran
Oh, at Jimmy
in Gainesville
Carnes.
at Jimmy Carnes. And it's funny because there's a dude's name is Coach White. I never forget this day. I was up in the stands chilling before, like before I got to get ready to go warm up, go down to the car room, whatever. I'm in the stands chilling. So as my coach tell me like, hey, it's time to go start warming up. So we start walking downstairs. We going down the stairs, and Coach White sees me. He was like, "Hey man, what you gonna do today?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna run like 6:0." And the record at the time was like 6:17, 6:15, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "You ain't running no 6:0." I was like, "I'm gonna run 6:0 today." He was like, "All right, I bet you $100."
Hey,
It's like,
hey,
cool.
what was it? 6:08 was the winning time, something like that.
I ran 6:08. Yes, and actually I broke just the national high school record. So I was like, cool. Still ain't paid my money, man.
Coach White,
No,
wherever
it's
you
10
are,
years
man,
ago. Right. Oh, he live in Orlando. I know he live at too. He still, that $100 done turned about 100,000. It's been 10 years, bro.
collecting interest and everything.
Collect
Hey,
all kind of, yeah, but that's definitely my most memorable, man, because like I set out to do that. Like I knew that I was capable, and I just really, really went and put it together. Obviously, it was always a debate whether it's a false start or not, but I don't
it
really care.
wasn't.
They ain't call it one. They ain't call
It
it one.
wasn't.
So
Here's the thing: if you get a smooth, clear release out the blocks, it's a perfect start. It's not a false start.
they just hate us. It's
Unfortunately,
all good.
yeah, unfortunately, they probably the same ones that think that there was a bunch of false starts in Eugene this year. But I saw that race 100 times. That was not a false start. I'm just saying, don't matter now. It's still, hey, it counts. So, like I
Yeah.
said, it don't matter. What was it like training under coach? You trained under Coach Ricky Argro, who is the sprints coach at FSU now, doing a great job with their crew. And this will be the last question before we get to some off track topics. What was it like training with him? And I remember you guys just train out at Lake Highland and everything, and that nice track that they have, and definitely pull you to. I think what was the name of the group? I think it was Inc. Like Imagine Not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Imagine not
I
knowing.
yeah. What was that kind of period like, especially now that you are a professional and just some of the things he taught you?
Well, he definitely back then he had a huge impact on a lot of things I did. He's actually one of the reasons I ended up going to FSU. He's the reason why I ended up getting my license at like 16.
Oh,
Yeah, he helped me take my permit test when I was 16 or 17 years old. Yeah, man. He definitely had a huge impact on my life. When he reached out to me to coach me, you know, as I think at the time he was like 26, 27, 27, 28. So the age I am now. So when he reached out to coach me, I had told him like straight up and down, like, bro, I don't know how these type of things work, but I ain't really got no, I ain't got no paper. Like I ain't straight like that. And he was like, nah, man, just show up. I'm gonna do it on love. Just work hard, bust your ass, whatever, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. And we kind of see how it worked out. We won state championship. We won 5 state championships, 3 in the 100, 2 in the 200.
yeah.
We won national title. Ran 10:05. I ran 10:06 in high school. I ran 10:09 in high school. Um, we was a NACAC champion and a Pan American Games champion in high school. And like I said, man, he was a big brother that I never had. So he like I said, he had a huge impact. And I wanted to follow in his footsteps. He went to Florida State. I'm going to Florida State. It's right, and actually, what a lot of people don't know though is I was this close to going to Texas A&M. I was about to
Really?
recommit I went on my visit and I loved everything about it. And at the time, the head coach, football coach, was Mike Sherman, super cool dude. He ended up getting fired,
Mm.
and I was like, oh shit, that's a sign. Like I'm staying, I'm locked in at Florida State because I like the Jimbo too. You know what I'm saying? Like he obviously, hell of a coach. Um, but yeah, being up on the training with him and doing things we did, like we had it was more than just like a coach athlete relationship. Like we actually was like cool. Like he was like family. So,
I
and then he
always,
went on to obviously do great things.
I always tell people like that was like the premier running group in the nation um, at the time because it was like you, it was Kermit, I think Aldrich Bailey ran. I know he ran a relay, and then just I don't know what you did kind of set the tone for what we have now. Like, and I don't know if you've ever realized that because right after you, it was obviously Kermit, but then it was Trayvon Bromell. And then it just kept kind of, climbing. And then from you to Kermit to Trayvon, it was Anthony Schwartz, down on American Heritage. And then it just keeps kind of, I don't say snowballing down, but have you ever thought about like, you created such a blueprint for so many of these young athletes to try to follow, to try to emulate. Do you ever kind of stop and think about just the great things that you've accomplished, not just on the track, but how you kind of are, I don't want to say the start, but you took it to another level because before you, it was Jeff Demps, but you passed Jeff Demps. And like everybody had that target. I remember, I think it was, I don't know if you ran in this meet, but I know Tyreek Hill.
That's when Kermit got him. Yeah, Golden South. I
Okay.
remember that.
Okay. I didn't know if you were in that race, but Kermit got him. But Tyreek Hill was like, even people from Georgia and everything, they kind of saw you, but you raised the bar to a level which, I mean, to be honest with you, is still being sought after. Have you ever thought about that kind of legacy that you've left?
Honestly, not on my own. No. Me and Coach Rick actually ended up having a conversation kind of about that because for me, bro, like I was really just trying to make it out. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like I said, I wanted to play football all my life. I thought high school, the experience was gonna be so different. I didn't get on varsity until I was a junior. So, I'm seeing years, wasted. Like, damn, like I want to play football. Like, well, what am I gonna do? And track ended up opening that door. I ran fast on the track my sophomore year. How still can't tell you how any of that happened, man. It was just, just the grace of God. I definitely didn't do that on my own. Didn't do no extra training. Fun fact, I didn't actually start working with Rick until the end of my sophomore year. So like
Oh, wow.
I had knew about him, but I didn't start like everything that happened, like that shit, that credit goes to my high school coach, dude named Josh
Wow.
Rouse. Like everything that happened, like I started working with Rick like the week before the state championship. But to be honest, like I was already probably locked to win it. And then he took me to the USA Junior Championships in 2010 in Des Moines, Iowa, and I ended up but it was 19 down. Like I didn't know this. I was 16 at the time, and it was 19U. So I'm racing like college freshman. I ended up getting my doors blown. I got like sixth place, but I made the relay pool. So I ran around up in Canada, and I just kind of opened my eyes to like a new world, with track and everything. And then once the coaches at the school saw that, I was real fast. It was like, okay, we got to find you a spot on varsity. It was like, have you ever thought about receiver? Cool, as long as I'm on the field. Started playing receiver. And like I said, my junior year, had a great year, had a great season on the field. My senior year, had a great season on the field. And that just kind of segued, my football career. But as far as like, paving the way, like I think I'm so regular, bro, that like I never really thought about it like that. Like I seen what people did. I wanted Kermit to top everything I did. I wanted him to break the records that I set, and somebody, come behind him and do it because that's just, records are set to be broken. But no, I didn't look at myself as like no pioneer or nothing. Like I was just trying to do my best to get the hell up out of
I feel that. Well, listen, man, you definitely paved the way for a lot of the things that we're seeing on the track, and we're about to start track season here in a few weeks. And so it's always kind of curious. There's always these names like that come from Central Florida, whether it's Jenny Simpson and what she did in Oviedo, what you
here.
did
Jenny,
at Boone. It's definitely something that people have noticed, and definitely something that you've given them a mark to set. We'll see who steps up to the challenge, but yeah, you definitely left a big impact here in Central Florida. What are three things people do not know about you?
well, people are starting to find out now, but I'm actually I'm weirdly good at bowling.
Okay,
Yeah, I can bowl real good. I'm probably one of like the luckiest people to walk the face of the earth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I'm the type of person that be winning like raffle. I want no bullshit. I won a raffle at a thing. They gave us two raffle tickets. I went to a party. They gave us two raffle tickets, and I actually won both. How? Don't know. I won both. Like I just get real lucky, with a lot of things, in life. Um, and then a third one. What would be a third? What don't people actually know about me? Uh, that's a good one. Like I said, I bowl. I'm real lucky. Oh, what people don't know about me? Okay, so like I'm right-handed and I do everything right-handed, but like I shoot pool like left-handed, and I don't know why.
really? That's hard.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it's just like I don't know. It's just always been that way. That's the only thing I do left-handed.
That is, I don't think people realize how tough that is.
Yeah, like but it's
That is
normal. Like, so it may feel weird to you, but it's normal to me. So if I tried to shoot like a right-handed person, I couldn't do
wow. Listen, that's a leap because I've tried to do that
it.
and I cannot grip the pool stick. Like it is, dang, that's crazy. I want to jump on this soul food thing. So I asked Olivia this, and I want to ask you this: what is the ultimate soul food plate? Like, what is like? I know here in Orlando, there's a place that is next level. I don't know if you've been. It's called Nikki's Place.
Yeah, I've been Nikki
Um,
before.
yeah, and so I was like telling somebody, I don't trust everybody's dressing, except if I'm making it or my mom is making it. But usually, I'll get the rice, and if I don't get 2 pieces of fried chicken, I'll get some catfish or whatever the case might be. Get the collard greens, macaroni and cheese if they have it, with a corn muffin and some candy yams, and something like that. That's kind of my go to specifically for fried chicken. Fish, I'll get fries with. But what's the ultimate one for you?
I mean, I gotta have the fried chicken. Like, I gotta
Okay.
have, and it gotta be done right, bro. Like, I got family in the country part of South Carolina, and every time we go up there, man, listen, they do it right. They do it right. Um, Gotta have the mac and cheese. I actually make a really good mac and cheese. I just cooked a ham, mac and cheese, collard greens, and something else for Thanksgiving.
Oh, dang,
We
mac and
gotta
cheese.
have the mac and cheese. Gotta have the mac and cheese. You gotta have the collard greens, and I top it off with some yams. Like, I'll do the rice, but I get the yams next to the mac and cheese,
And
and I'll be yeah.
get
You get
that
that
mesh
mesh,
in.
I'll be good. You know what I'm saying? That really be it. But like, I got everything I need right there. Just bang, 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 bang. That's it.
I've never cooked like that Thanksgiving. I don't cook rice, but some of these soul food restaurants, like you got the rice is the base.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think people understand. Like if you haven't tried it, don't put the chicken. I don't do the chicken next to the yams or the collard greens because it make it soggy.
Yeah, not doing
Um,
that.
and there are people who need to know this. You cannot warm up fried chicken in the microwave because it gets wet. So you need to put it in the. Actually, you just need to eat it hot.
Yeah,
Let's
hot,
just
bro. Anyway.
let's just call it spade a spade. We just need to eat it hot. But I have not them candy yams, man, with the greens and then a little bit of fried chicken. It's a,
Yeah,
it's a game changer. Are you a
game changer.
cornbread or biscuit person?
I'm so sick because I left out the cornbread. Like, I knew I was forgetting something. I knew four items didn't sound right. You need the cornbread. Now, it depends on the occasion. Like, on
Yeah,
a
I agree
regular
with that.
regular food night, like, yeah, I do some biscuits. Like, that's cool. But like, think soul food. Do not give me no biscuits with my soul food. Like, I need cornbread with my soul food. It's just not gonna be
I
the same. I ain't gonna be the same.
it was up until about 2 months ago that I was like, I can do a biscuit with soul food. But then I tried it. But what happened was no, they I got I ordered a biscuit, but they gave me a corn muffin. Because it was the closest thing to cornbread that they sell.
Gotcha.
I prefer cornbread. It's just something about put the jiffy in there and everything. It's just different to me. But I have to agree with you there. I never thought I would, but I have to agree with you. It's different. So you cooked the ham. You smoked the ham, or did you do
Yeah,
like
so
I did with the honey
I
bacon?
boiled it. I boiled it for like 15, 20 minutes. I just let it get, nice and tender. Boiled it, and then I actually put it in the oven. Pretty sure it was enough about 2 hours. Got the brown sugar, got the butter, got the brown sugar, had my little pineapples on top of it with the cherries, with the toothpicks through it, and just let it, marinate on that, man. Caramelized, and once that thing came out, it was good.
So you a chef when you not running?
No, not really. So fun fact about me, man, I've been living on my own kind of since I was 19. So I went to Florida State, for a year. I left, turned professional in track after my freshman year. So I was 19, moved back home. But like, my family was like, one of the families were like, you kind of gotta do shit on your own. Like, my mama ain't the type of person that can come up. My grandma not gonna come cook every week, clean up my house. They weren't doing that. Like, I salute people who got their mama in their life and grandma in their life doing that. My mama didn't want. You do it your damn self.
My mom ain't doing that
So
either.
yeah, so I salute people that got that. But so what I just and then it just sometimes I hate waiting on people. I hate having to rely
Yeah.
on somebody to do something because if they don't come through, it is what it is. So I remember I started I would call my grandma and we'd sit on the phone. I would drive to the stove, be on the phone with her. She'd tell me everything to get while I'm on the phone with her. Check out, go home. She tell me how to prep it. Tell me, oh, man, let it cook for 30 minutes and then call me back. Boom, okay. What it look like? What it look like this? Okay, let it say some more. Boom. One of my cousins from South Carolina, she actually always makes. She's responsible for making the mac. She only makes the mac and cheese when we have like family functions.
Uh-huh.
And so because she lives in South Carolina, I can, go there and get something from her. So she just, again, talked to her on the phone. She told me how to make it, told me everything to get. And then, same with the collard greens, same with stuff like that. And then when it comes to like other stuff, like regular at home meals, like I kind of like, self-taught, or I can go get a recipe or something and just kind of see how I like it and tweak it and just kind of go from there. Because when you cook, it's about if you like it.
Exactly. It don't matter if nobody else like it, as long as you can
And yeah,
eat it.
and eating out is listen, that shit. I used to want, man, I started blowing through so much at it. I was when I was younger, like my first deal, like I went to check my account at the end of the month, and I'm like, hold on, how the hell I spent
Because
food? Like, how did I spend?
all
Do
that
I
money
not?
on food.
Yeah, but you don't realize how much it add up, all that eating out and stuff, man. And so, I mean, to be honest, you then kind of break even when you shopping and eating food, especially if you're shopping at like Whole Foods and Sprouts and like shit like that. But man, I was spending a lot of money, on fast food and just food out in general. And so I was like, you know what, man, I gotta make a change.
You don't know because it's just like you spend like $5 and the stuff like okay, that's all right. $10. So it's like all right, that's cool. I don't feel like it. And then like you said, it's like okay, you spent about 450, $500 on food at the end of the month.
Like,
And then I
ain't no
don't know,
way, bro.
like
Ain't no
you
way.
just I
And
don't
now I
know.
got kids, so man, yeah, I mean,
Oh, it's a
we'll
little
eat out.
different.
Yeah, we'll eat out, but we got food at the house.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
I I don't know, especially just with everything costing so much. I saw this tweet and I agree with it. It's like because when you're younger and you're driving in the store and you pass McDonald's or whatever, you're like, oh, can we stop and get that? And your mom says, yeah, we got food at the house. Now I
now I
understand.
understand. Like, I understand what having food at the house means. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's what we roll with. Like now we'll need that. Now, like it all makes sense to me. When you're not running, when you're not training, what's life like for Marvin Bracy?
So fortunately, unfortunately for us, track and field is damn near year round. I
Yeah.
started training October 18th of last year, 2021. My last race was September 12th of this year. So, like 11 months of, training and racing. I took a little vacation this time, though. I took a little vacation. I had about a good 6, 7 weeks off this time. I took a vacation. It's a lot of downtime, dog. Like you just do a lot of chilling because like when you end season, you're always in especially when you travel. Like I'll
Yeah.
fly to, let's just call it for the sake of argument, I'll fly to London, be there for 3 or 4 days, race, leave there. I might go to Paris, be there for 2 or 3 days, race, leave there, go back to London, chill for a little bit. Then go to my next race. And it's like it's always moving. Like it's such a pleasure though to be able to see, dope stuff like that. But it does get a little,
It's
you get
tiring.
homesick. Yeah, you
Yeah.
be over there, and because that's the end of the season. Like right now, we just, it's just fall training. Um, but out of the season, man, I spent a lot of time just chilling, dog. Like I said, I go bowling a lot. That's how I ended up getting, kind of good. I go bowling. I hang around with my homies a lot. I come to Orlando sometimes, just to kick it with the family. But as life goes on, people have kids. Life kind of slows down for some people, speed up for some people. So you just try to keep in contact with who you can and just kind of go from there.
You a gamer?
Nah, I'm actually sitting in front of an Xbox now, but I don't really play games, man. I don't got the attention span for it.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
bro. I don't have like it's weird because I have nothing but time. But like I can't sit here and stare at the screen for like I can't do it, bro. Like I watch TV or like sports. Like I watch football. Listen, I watch football at Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Listen, whenever it's on, I'm watching, bro. Like, and when I'm not watching, I'm watching highlights. Like, I don't. I can't
So
sit here and do it, man.
so this is probably like the most depressing time of the year that football is like it's hard. Listen, there ain't nothing harder. Like the gap between the end of the Super Bowl to the
Oh my
preseason
God, bro.
is like waiting 4 years for the Olympics. It is. I love track and field. I cover it for a living. There's nothing worse than waiting. Like, and it flew by so fast this year.
Oh my God, bro. It's listen, man. Because I ain't a basketball head. Like I watch, but like really, I
Not
really
like
watch the
that.
playoff. Like I watch a good game. Like if I'm watching TV and they showing that the the Warriors gonna play the Nets or something, like I'll watch it
Yeah.
because the names involved, whatever, whatever. But I'm not really a big basketball head like that. So until like the playoffs, because that's when people playing for real, like people trying to boot up get the championship. But yeah, it'd be so hard, bro. Not having football to watch.
It's bad.
Like immediately after the Super Bowl, I'm like sick because I'm like I gotta wait till September, bro, to really watch a meaningful football game. I got trash talk
It's
for nine. I got trash talk for 7 months about
for
what's gonna
real.
happen for us to be what 4-8.
I know, man. You be talking trash to
And like, see,
everybody.
my homie, when my homie, he's my best friend actually. He actually I met him at Florida State. He ran track as well. So he went to Florida State, but he's a Florida Gator fan, and he's a Florida Gator fan. He's a Tampa Bay fan because he's from Tampa. So obviously, me being at FSU and New Orleans, our teams,
Oh yeah.
they clash. So all year it's back and forth, back and forth. Like I'm one up right now though because FSU beat Florida. I hate the Gators. Um, I'm one up right now. I'm living large. I'm living large right now.
Shout out to Mike Norvell, man, because I actually called it. I said FSU would win 9 games this year. I just had this feeling that they would win 9 games, and I don't know. I can't explain it. And listen, that LSU win looked really good. Now,
No, no, no bull, no bull. I can say this now, but I did not see us winning 9 games, and I was like, man, I'll be happy with 8. Like I'll take 8 because looking at our schedule, I'm like, I honestly thought, Louisville, LSU could go, either way. Clemson just was still a little bit better than us, and for whatever reason, man, we always struggle with NC State. And like I said, and then the Florida game, that's always I knew we was gonna win the Miami game, but the Florida game, I was like, they're gonna come in hot. Like they're still a good team. I was like, those are 5 potential, but that's 8-5. I can. It is what it is. Bowl game will be bowl eligible. That's 8 games is a big step up from what we had last year, whatever, whatever. And then after they played the first game, I was like, oh shit, we got something.
yeah,
We actually got something, and we were one dumb play call away from being 9-2 or 9 or whatever from that NC State game. That should still make me mad, bro.
not just the NC State game. You should have beat Wake Forest.
Yeah, but
I
at
watched
the end,
that game.
they Wake Forest they let Wake Forest come in there and manhandle us, and it is what it is. Like we lost it fair and square. That NC State game, I don't like. All we gotta do is just hold the ball for the field goal.
That was
Like
bad.
we win the game. You throw a shot at the end zone. I just don't get it. But one day I will be coaching America. One day I will be coaching football. That's what I want to do when I'm out of here. So I'll be making some of these decisions. So it's all good.
But here's the thing: you actually understand the game because you played it. And so, like, you understand the nuances. So that must drive you crazy, like, even more than the average fan.
Bro, it's especially because like I've been in that stadium, like I've been in that atmosphere. I remember like coming out. I think our fourth game of the season, we played Clemson. We were both undefeated. I think it was both like a top 15 matchup. I never experienced like bro, the hairs on the back of my neck was standing up when I came out the tunnel. I was like, it was like 80,000 people there. Like, what the to watch
Yeah.
football on a random Saturday night? I was like, nah, bro, this is different. This is different.
It's watching them. It's been fun. Like, Johnny Wilson has been he cost me. Listen, I'm in a fantasy league, and Johnny Wilson was my starting receiver, and the 2 touchdowns cost me. Um, it cost me. Let's just put it that way. But still, like, I don't know. Just watching them, Jordan Travis gives me a headache. I love Jordan Travis because like he tries so hard, and every now and then he'll screw up and he'll fumble the ball. and then every now and then he'll just toast you and stuff like
The
that.
the leap that he made from
Was
last
huge.
year to this year, I have nothing but like appreciation for it, man. Like that's so hard to do, especially like when you've been consistently at like been consistently still at a good level. He's playing good, but then like he raised his game to a whole
His
new level,
game.
and he's the reason why we're having a lot of the success. The ball is in his hands, 80, 90% of the time, and he's doing something with it. At the end of the day, man, people still gonna make mistakes, but if he's back next year, like I think he's gonna make another leap because you kind of learn from those things in the game. Like that's why you see like certain people, raise a game because they start to learn from their past mistakes, and you stop making those. So
Yeah,
instead of making five blunders next season, he might make one. I can live with that. I can live because you're gonna mess up sometime.
of course.
So
But the
I'm actually excited for the future, man, and it's really big for recruitment. Like he's a somewhat still of a new coach, in a top five, in a top 10 program,
oh yeah,
so now you'll start to attract more, and shit, even if Mike Norvell don't last, it makes the job more appealing to the next guy. Now he's like, okay, I'm not going into a dumpster fire of
oh yeah.
FSU trying to like resurrect the program.
But let me ask you this: in the past, let's say 5 years, would you say that this is the least talent? I won't say the least talented team, but compared to a few teams that they had with some superstars, like with this team and how they're made up, that Benson from Oregon has been a revelation. Not just because I saw that injury. I was hoping he would walk, let alone play football. But that dude is different.
Dude,
Did
tough as
you
hell, man.
did you expect this team? Obviously, you said 8 wins, but would 8 wins have surprised you?
Yes, because like some of these games that we've lost, like within the last couple of years, some of the games that we've lost, we just got they beating us up. Like a lot of games we won this year, like with the games we lost last year, just went on some
Yep.
back and forth nail biter type, and we'll have like a meltdown and then the game just kind of get away from us. And you can see like the growth and maturity. Like I've seen some teams think about I was there in 2012 when we went and won the Orange Bowl. I mean, I had left the program, but I came back and I saw 2013 when they went to the national championship, and should we still seeing people from the national championship team in the league doing their thing right now?
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like that whole squad, like out of the starting 22, I'm pretty sure like 16, 17 of them people made to the NFL at some point. Then
James, Jameis, Benjamin's not in the NFL, but he was. Um, Kermit
Rashard
was
Green,
there. Rashard Green, Ken,
What's his name? Nick O'Leary was there for a little bit.
Nick
Devontae
O'Leary,
Freeman, Devontae
Devontae Freeman,
Freeman,
Kenny Shaw was
um,
briefly.
briefly. What's his name? Brian Stork was a starting center. He
Yeah,
started for the Patriots when they won the Super Bowl. Trey, yeah, 2014 when they won the Super Bowl. Was it 2014? Yeah, 2014 when they won the Super Bowl.
2014.
He was a starting center, Brian Stork. Trey Jackson. He
Trey
was also
Jackson,
with the Patriots when they won the Super Bowl. Um, who am I missing? Oh, Cam Irvin ended up. Remember, he moved
Cam
him from
Urban.
guard to center. Cam Irvin. He's still in the
They
league
had
right
a
now. I think he's with the Cowboys.
he is.
Um,
They had a corner. Was
PJ
he a
PJ
PJ
Williams, Ronald
PJ
Darby.
Williams?
Darby was actually my roommate. That's my boy. Ronald
Okay,
Darby,
he was
Jalen
fast too.
Ramsey,
Yeah.
Jalen
Oh,
Ramsey, Terrence Brooks.
Terrence
uh,
Brooks. Was
what's his
Derwin on
name?
that team? No, he
Derwin. He
wasn't.
wasn't. He came after, but obviously Derwin, Devontae, Dalvin Cook, Carlos
Dalvin Cook. That's it.
Williams.
What's the
Carlos
running
Williams.
back? What's the running back? He played for a plant.
Oh,
Uh,
James Wilder. James Wilder.
yeah, Wilder Jr.
Bro, no, that team,
Oh,
the team was loaded, bro. Like the team was loaded, man. They had some talent on that team. But that was a whole. That's not that. This team now obviously ain't that team because that's a Hall of
no.
Fame. Like to recreate that. Listen, if Norvell redo that, he the man.
He might like. I felt bad that he got the whole Travis Hunter situation. Uh, but I don't know. I'm just looking at. Obviously, I know NIL is kicking, and I think there's a few kids that probably would can't afford to state. if some money hadn't been. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I don't
Yeah,
know it.
see, but I just had this argument with somebody that I know, and I was saying like the NIL thing, it kind of evened the playing field a little bit
It did.
with recruitment and stuff like that, because like a lot of these universities have boosters that pump more money into the program so they can get more and have more, and it's more enticing because these kids don't understand, at the end of the day, like they love the look.
Oh yeah.
So you're more prone to go to certain places if it's looking a little bit nicer over here. Understood. But now you can go and get that from anywhere. So I can go get $100,000 for what? From Memphis? Oh, cool. Yeah, I go to Memphis. I need to go to, I can still make it to the league. I can still do this. I can still do that. I think that it has shaken the bag a little bit. And I think that now talent will be distributed a little bit more fairly.
Oh yeah.
But and also some certain schools have better recruiters, like better recruiters than other schools. Like that shit is an art, to be honest with you.
It's hard. Like I covered football recruiting. It's nothing I want to do again. Like it's crazy. What would be like your dream NIL deal? Like if NIL was, because here's the thing, you could have collected it for two sports, for track and field and for football. Like what is your dream NIL deal?
I think, let's just say, okay, if I was still in college and I could get an NIL deal, I think that it would have been something along the lines of something dealing with any type of sports car, like something fast. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because obviously I'm being marketed as being a fast guy. So let's just say Corvette comes in and makes the Marvin Bracy edition Corvette. I don't know, just it's a pipe dream, but something dealing with like some type of fast car that I could kind of promote and kind of tie in myself, and that'd be pretty dope for me.
Bijan Robinson from Texas, I think he's sponsored by Lamborghini. He got a deal with Lamborghini. he signed a check. I was like, man.
I think, man, listen, I know that there's always going to be like, back and forth with like the NIL, but like, I love the fact that some of these dudes can get what they get, because people don't understand that like only 234 of these dudes finna get drafted.
Yeah.
Out of those 234, 224, whatever it is, maybe 150, 160 probably got a job on lock, at least for the first contract. Mm-hmm. And shit, out of those 150, whatever it is, honestly, half of them ain't finna see a second deal.
No.
So to already walk in there, with something, man, I think that it'll, at least if football don't work out, you played 4 years, do what you had to do, you got your little something, at least you can kind of segue into the next chapter of life and not worry about, damn, like I put all my eggs in this basket, with a sport and it ain't working out. What am I gonna do?
We're going to transition to that now because I'm actually curious your thoughts on this. But I will say this: it's bad that some of these NIL deals are more than what the best track athlete makes. Like I think about that often. I like something like that Diamond League Championship, man. Like I did a show on that with Aaron and Joshua Potts, and it was just like it takes 30 grand. Like 30 grand is the payout for the winner. So you don't include the agent fees, you don't include the travel fees, you don't include the taxes on it. So out of 30, maybe you're seeing 15. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. There's just certain things. It's like we're cutting off. We're trying to save tennis shoes by cutting off feet, and I just don't even understand it. And everything, but you want to be a coach, and just what you said, I think a lot of kids. I don't know. I mean, because just you're in a football culture, just like everybody has a dream. You got to do this, you got to do that, and it's just like some of the hardest working kids will never make it past. They may not make it to Florida State. You know what I'm saying? Like they may. It's not a college anymore, but they may play for Florida Tech or Florida Memorial. That doesn't mean that they're terrible because listen, there's no high school team that's going to beat a college team because just there's levels to it and stuff like that. Yeah. Which is why I hate when everybody was like, "Oh yeah, St. Thomas will beat Alabama or modern day will beat. It's like, no, they won't. Like they
Bro,
couldn't even.
man, get the shit kicked out of them, man.
Yeah, like
You
they
ain't
couldn't
ready,
even
bro.
beat
It's
the.
different.
They couldn't even beat the scout team. Like
Listen,
we
you
talked about.
can't, bro. It's different. You listen. I was on the scout team too. I got scout team player of the year. Shout out to the boys. They you not beating us, bro. It is James was on the scout team with me. Put it like that. So
And you saw what he did. Like no, you're
bro,
not
but
gonna.
he was also like this. Is how we knew he was ready though, because like me and him was on the scout team together, and we was killing our defense. Like we had the boys ready because like most of the time like you don't put a Heisman winning quarterback or a Heisman to be quarterback on a scout team. You don't have that. You just got a regular scout team quarterback, some walk on dude that is pretty decent where he come from. But you had a top tier quarterback, and we was like slicing and dicing. Don't get me wrong, like they really wanted to stomp us out. They could have, but we made the plays when we made the plays. But yeah, nah, I definitely wanna take it. I want to coach at like hopefully a college level to start to kind of make my way into like the NFL to just kind of get my feet wet. But yeah, people don't really do a good job of explaining those type of
Yeah,
things to these kids. So it's like, fortunately, I was able to make it, doing something, but it's not gonna work out that way for everybody. But while you're here, you might as well give it all you got. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah.
whatever happens, it happens. You kind of control that. What you do on the field, it will dictate, what happens.
Oh yeah. As a coach, what is the biggest impact that you that you want to make when it's all said and done, and you're really investing in these kids, and then these college needs with all this NIL and all the agents in your ear and all that stuff, they need guidance more than ever. What's the biggest impact that you want to make? Or if you don't like that kind of question, what's the biggest change that you wish to see from your influence?
Oh no, I'll answer it the way you put it the first time. So fortunately for me, I've gotten to be around, a number of coaches now. I was obviously around, Jimbo at Florida State. Um, I was around Chuck Pagano with
Yeah,
Indianapolis, Pete Carroll with the Indianapolis Colts, not the Colts, the
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah, Pete Carroll with the Seahawks. Um, and so for me, one thing that stuck out to me about Pete, like he's actually like really cool dude. He's what they call a player's coach. A player's coach is kind of like somebody that can kind of relate to the players, that are real cool with the players. Like he's the coach, but you kind of look at him like he one of the bros,
Yeah,
and but you still have that respect factor for him,
right.
because at the end of the day, like when you get like it's weird because like college coaches are so much more like strict and a little bit more mean and different than when you get to the next level. At the next level, everybody's like chill. Like these people are so chill. It's how like we think about like back in like the 90s type era where everybody's getting cursed out. They'll say this to you, they'll say that to you, they'll whatever. That's not how they coach up there. Like they be so chill and lax. Like they hold you accountable as a professional, and that's just kind of like the flavor I want to bring. Like I want to be a player's coach. I want to understand like you can come and talk to me.
Yeah, and I
Like
think
you
that's
can come and we
important.
can have a conversation. We can have an open dialogue. Like, obviously if you got questions about something, like I'm not finna like, put you down because you don't know it. Like that ain't gonna help you at the end of the day. Like that, me trying to make you feel stupid for not knowing a read or a key or a play or something, like that's not gonna get the job done. What's gonna get the job done is knowing the play, and we've been effective. So, people got
Yeah,
to get away from that outdated thought process of I need to yell at my kids. I need to inflict fear. Yeah.
I'm a huge honestly because I'm like a Ohio State fan. I'm a huge fan. Oh, and they're gonna come after me for saying this because they want him fired after yesterday.
One day.
Yeah, but I'm a huge fan of his because like he has this open door policy that if you need to talk, if you need to come in, you can come into the office. Everybody's welcome. But everybody's saying, okay, but that's soft. That's just soft. Why do you think that people are of this? Because I don't think it's soft. If you have a question, because like you just said, how else are you going to learn? Now, if you
people
keep
are stuck.
go ahead, you go.
People are stuck in that hard nosed mentality of when sports was a little bit more brutal and they could kind of
Yeah,
get away with it a little bit more. But nowadays, like I said, at the next level, he's prepping them for how it is at the next level. Like a lot of these athletes at the next level call the coaches by first name.
Yeah.
I they don't really call people coach. You call this is a business. But at that next level, it's a business. At the end of the day, you knowing the play and you've been at the end of the day, if you don't even know the play, I might spoon feed this motherfucker. I might spoon feed it to you just for you to
Yeah.
get it. Because at the end of the day, if you're one of my best guys and you having trouble learning the plays, we ain't gonna be effective. I can't put you on the field. So
No.
I gotta do something to get you to I gotta make you comfortable enough to, get you in there and get you to come talk to me because once we break down those barriers, that's how we get it done. So people are just stuck in that headspace where like the coaches need to be mean and be like, man, we just not there anymore. Like that's just not where sports is anymore. Like it may work for some people, but I promise you, a lot of those coaches is just chill. Now think about it. We got what's his name? The coach with the Rams. I'm drawing a
McVay.
blank. I know his name. McVay, Sean
McVay.
McVay. Bro, he's younger than some of his players.
Yeah.
But it worked. He don't want a Super Bowl at like 36 years old. It works. He's cool. He's chill. They got the hip hop music going. Everything's chill. They just hold you accountable as a professional. Like they're holding you accountable. That's all it is, accountability at that level. So, like I said, that's the type of coach I want to be. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to be like, sometimes you can take it too far
Right. Yeah.
and be too far on the front tip and not get the job done. But there's a happy medium in this. And a lot of coaches are figuring that out, like how to deal with these players. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we just people too.
Even Nick Saban and Kirby Smart, like they've had
I'm
coaches.
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about that. Nick Saban came out. This is actually what made me a bigger fan of Nick Saban. Obviously, I'm a fan of his greatness, everything he's doing with his program, year to year. With 2 losses being a down year for them, like that's insane. Um,
Yeah.
he said, I mean, something happened with one of his kids, I think at the game, and the kid, I don't know if it was at the game or one of the kids did something. He was acting up, and Nick Saban like suspended him for like a half or suspended him or something like that, put him back on the field. And he was a good kid. He was a good player. And they did an interview and they asked him about it, and he was like, "Well, so let me get this right. Y'all want me to like cut him, send him back where he came from. Now he has a knock on him. Now nobody's gonna give him an opportunity. Now God knows where he's gonna be. You want me to do that for you to be happy? Like no, like I'm not gonna do that. Like, and I feel the same way. Like everybody, that you don't just got to go straight to get him off the team, get him out of here. He doesn't deserve a chance. No, like no, that's just not how it goes, bro.
I remember watching it was Dwayne Wade. He said there was something going on. I think his mom went to jail or something like that, but he was struggling. And so he got kicked out of practice one day. And he didn't get kicked off the team. Everybody's been kicked out of practice and everything. And he was able to talk with the coach, what's going on, man? Like, what's going on? And as soon as, they were able to talk that out, like his play improved. And now he's, one of the best shooting guards, in NBA history, certainly the most underrated shooting guard in
Oh, sure.
NBA history. And so, no, I think that's lacking. And I think that, like I said, I love that's like what you want to do. And I hate to say this, but Texas A&M might need you next year, man. Depending on what happens. But no, I think that's if you're trying people, because the thing that I always hear, we got to get them ready for the real world. Well, if the real world is what specifically in the NFL is what you're saying, then that's how you need to be and stuff. And to your point, you've been on championship teams and you've been around greatness. You know that if the coach, if the players love the coach and would do anything for him, you
Run
got
through a
the
wall.
formula for what they'll
Man,
do
you'll
anything
run
for him.
through a wall. You'll run through a wall. And at the end of the day, like the real world is obviously a lot more cruel and unforgiving to a lot of things, but also life is kind of like it's a lot about what you make it though. Like if
Right.
you go down a certain path, yeah, it's a little bit more cruel and violent and unforgiving. But if you walk a lighter walk, of life, and you doing like if you blue collar America, and you punching in the clock, going to work, doing what you got to do. Like at the end of the day, bro, like when you leave people alone, you left alone. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So
Oh yeah.
it's kind of what you make it. Because the thing about the people saying this are people that probably go home to a $600,000-700,000 house, in a
Yeah.
nice, decent neighborhood where everything is rainbows and butterflies. Everybody doesn't have that reality.
No.
So, I don't even be paying attention to stuff like that because I've been in those rooms, I've been in the camps, I've been around, I see what happens on a day-to-day basis. And I've picked different things from different places that I want to kind of apply to myself as a coach. So when I do get the opportunity, I can kind of, take it and flip it and see if it works. And obviously you make improvements, you change stuff. Maybe something I do may not work, you know?
Exactly.
You get after
So,
people, like it's one of those things where like you can get after people, like coaches still get after you, but I mean, they don't demean you. Like you don't have to demean somebody to get the best out of them. Like my coach now, like he's cool dude. Like he's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's cool people. But he don't yell that much. Like he'll yell if he has to, but it don't take all that. Like the success we've had, like
exactly.
it's just simple communication. Like he has a way of explaining it to where I can understand and we get it done and we just go on to the next thing. Like we don't have to yell and beat it across my head and tell me that I'm sorry because I didn't do it right.
Yeah.
What is that gonna do? Like
I don't know. I think people kind of have a false reality of what like toughness is.
they do.
And like you said, it's people who go home to mansions and all this stuff. It's easy to talk about being tough when like you looking down on everybody else, but instead
Yeah,
of
bro.
actually going through the process. Last two questions, then we're gonna wrap this thing up.
Okay.
How has being a father, I would say, enhanced your career and changed your perspective on everything, specifically on the track?
Oh man, the day I held my son for the first time, I knew that like it just got real. You know, at the time he actually came, I wasn't in a, for lack of a better term, I wasn't in a bright spot of life. My career wasn't on track. I think I had just got cut from the Seahawks.
Mm.
I just got cut from the Seahawks. And nothing was going right, But when he came, I was like, you know what? Like my back is against it. I have no choice. It's like it's fight or fight. Ain't even no fight or flight. Like it's just fight and keep fighting and keep digging until you figure it out. And it changed my perspective on a lot of things in the sense that like it's no longer about me. Everything I do now also affects him. Where I go, how long I'm there, stuff like that. It affects him. So it matured me in a lot of ways. And then now I actually have a daughter. She should be here within the next 3-4 weeks.
Oh,
So I get to
congratulations,
do,
man! Hey,
yeah,
that's a
thank
good
you.
birthday present for you, man.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So she'll be here in the next 3 or 4 weeks, man. I'm excited to meet her. And it's just even more motivation to continue to give them, everything I didn't have growing up. So that's my motivation to keep fighting like every day. Because like, again, I have no choice. Like babies ain't cheap, So I figured out, I figured out some things on the track. I've been running real good, been training real good, just been feeling real good. And I'm just doing everything to continue to keep that going. Like a lot of stuff I wasn't doing as a younger athlete. Coming home, doing simple stuff like stretching or changing my diet or stuff like that. Like I wasn't doing that kind of stuff back then. It would just go to practice. Practice over. Oh damn, I got all day. I'm gonna go do something. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm a little bit more domesticated at the crib. My son is now in school, so that's a great thing. So he's pretty much out of the house for most of the day. But yeah, just being here, making sure that I'm attentive and around as a parent.
Last question: what can we expect from you this year? And I'm just curious, what advice would you give somebody that's following in your footsteps?
Okay, so first question. This year I intend on being the 2023 100-meter world champion.
Let's do
Like I
it.
said, I figured out a lot of things, man. I got a lot of confidence going into, I was this close from winning the 2022 when 2021 I went out with an injury at the Olympic trials. So obviously to do that off the back-to-back year, to come in this year, man, I got so much confidence, riding in. I've been putting in so much work. I know where I messed up at in a race, and I'm just doing everything to correct that while also making other improvements, in life, in track to get to where I want to be. So yeah, I intend on joining the 9-7 club, hopefully the 9-6 club. It'd be nice to own an American record. But yeah, just y'all can just expect me to be, my all out best, man. Every time I step on the track, I'm out there to do some big things, because like I said, it's not about me. It's bigger than me now. I got two people that'll have my last name, represent and walk around this world, and they'll get to look back on, the cool things that I did. And as far as giving somebody advice, man, what I would tell somebody is to just never give up. You know what I'm saying? Like persistency is like essential to, getting things done, man. I've had so many doors slammed in my face, you know, metaphorically and literally. But I never took that, I never took that and lay down. Like I didn't let it stop me. It's the thing that keeps driving me every day. That's why I get up and go as hard as I can, every day to keep going and, basically basically get back. You don't always have to do it, with words or whatever. I can do it with my action. So, me giving my all, being the best that I can be every day is, my clap back at some of the things that have happened to me. And it's just because I'm persistent, man. Like I've had, like I said, so many things have happened that I don't even talk about, publicly. And I just keep fighting. So that's what it is, just keep fighting.
You have survived what I call the interrogation process. We are on to the last segment of this podcast called Down the Home Stretch. I'm going to ask you a few rapid fire questions. I want
Okay.
you to answer them to the best of your ability. If I pause and ask you for you to elaborate, it doesn't count against the time. If you don't, I really don't care. It really is no big deal. You are looking to join the gold medal stand, which includes a few people, including Florida legends, Sinclair Johnson, she's on the stand, Olivia Baker, Kerry Tolson, bunch of people, John Anderson, they're all in the middle stand. You're looking to put on for the 407, continue, because, yeah, Sinclair will be the only one, so you will be the second one. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
If there was a food that you had to live with and a food that you could live without, what would they be?
Salmon is something I can live with. Live without uh uh coleslaw. That's disgusting.
Listen, I will shout that from the rooftops. You can't eat
It's just
everybody's
it's
potato salad, and
yeah,
you
it's just
cannot eat everybody's coleslaw. I feel that 100%. Deep dish or New York style pizza?
New York style.
Favorite show that you recently binge watched?
Favorite show that I recently binge watched. That's a good question. Power. I got a late start, so just don't kill me.
Is that good? I haven't even
You
turned
gotta
it on.
watch. Yeah, man, it's so good,
Okay,
bro. Yeah, you got it.
okay.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna check it out because everybody has had. I've heard like good, I've heard bad. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it. All right, man. There was if Tyler Perry came to you and said, "Dog, we're gonna make a Medea movie with you in it." What movie would you want it to emulate?
Okay, does it have to be a Tyler Perry movie?
Actually, not. It could be anybody. I don't really care.
Uh oh, what's that movie called? Any Given Sunday. That's actually my favorite movie.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. Outside of yourself, because I saw the interview that you did with yourself recently. If there was a character who could portray you in a movie about your life, who are you rolling with?
Hmm. Who would I roll with? A character that portray me. I'm trying to think about from like a actual casting. Like I don't really know nobody that really looked like me in the acting world. Actually no, the kid from what's that the TV show All American. He was the quarterback
Oh
of Crenshaw. Chris.
yes,
That
yes,
little yeah.
yeah. The other person they would have to make him darker. Could low key beat Michael B. Jordan, but he would
Yeah, he had to be a little bit, yeah.
he'd be darker. But the one you
He
just
too like
named, he's spot on. That would be spot on. If there was somebody to say, listen, man, we're gonna make a custom pump up song for you, what artist would it be?
NBA young boy.
I like that. I like that. Well,
Actually,
that's
my first 30, like my first 20, 25 songs on my warm-up playlist is all young boy. All of them.
real. Oh man,
The first 20 is just active. Like because you gotta think about, man, like we actually trying to get violent, man. Like I can't approach a race like with too much of a calm demeanor. Like it's a controlled aggression. So I gotta get like like on the outside, like I'm looking calm but my music going in my ear and I'm just like, it's gonna get
yeah,
real.
you got to get ready, especially it's 100 meters and everything. You just got that 100 meters to go. I feel that. All right, man. If you could be anything outside of a coach and a track and field athlete or NFL player, what are you rolling with? What profession would you be?
Sorry, I had got an Amber Alert. Can you repeat the question real quick?
Any other profession that you would want to be in outside of a coach, outside of a track and field athlete, and a football player?
Oh, actually, I wanted to be an analyst. Like I wanted to be somebody that covered
Okay.
like a Shannon Sharp or something. On TV. Actually, because I love to talk. I love sports. I love to talk about sports, and I feel like I have obviously going through and learning more as years go by about the game or games. I feel like I could have like a very interesting perspective with TV, and I'm not really camera shy, so I feel like it'd be something I could do.
If anybody heard those noises while this was going on, while Marvin was talking, I just got the Amber Alert as well. So it just like whipped out, and I don't even think that is in. Oh, it's in Jacksonville. Oddly enough. All right, last few questions. Dream location to take a vacation.
Dream location. Greece,
Oh man.
Mykonos, Greece, or the Maldives.
Oh, that would be lit. That would be lit. If you could be the owner of any current restaurant in America, what restaurant would you take over?
Any restaurant in America? That's a really good. Um, Damn, that's a really good question. I would probably say like Capital Grill. Like a lot of people rock with Capital Grill. It's like one of those, nice, fancy, but it's not like too fancy. Like ain't one of them
Yeah.
places like you can't really like. If you walk up, you might still get seated. You might, you know what I'm saying? Like you got a
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
chance. It ain't like well, you got to reserve 6 months,
Two.
from now. Yeah, like that's just ridiculous. But
No, I'm not. A, I can't even afford to think about going like places like that. But B, I was like, I want to know what kind of food y'all using to where I have to, you know what I'm saying? It's like go that far in advance. Favorite holiday tradition.
um, favorite holiday tradition. Well, I kind of started it. Was it two, 3 years ago? I started doing like a little Friendsgiving. I didn't even know it was
Okay,
a thing
I didn't
until
either.
like 2 or 3 years ago. A couple of like my people, they wasn't eating with their families. I was like, you know what? Like I just kind of learned how to make this stuff. Like y'all, come over and taste test it. And so just ever since then, like I would have like even people like my training group, like we had one last year as well. Just have them come over. Everybody bring something. It's kind of like a potluck, and we just
Yeah.
because everybody's away from their families. Like we train with international athletes, so we got Chinese, Jamaicans, like we got them from everywhere. So it's just like everybody just come through, get a plate, bring one of your own dishes, and we just rock it like that.
I love that. Cartoon Network or 90s Nickelodeon? 90s
Oh,
Cartoon Network or 90s Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon.
Okay. That's listen, people say 90s Cartoon Network. I
Yeah,
just
it's
have to
weird. It's like
I'll
Dexter's Laboratory and stuff like that, right?
encourage the
Pinky and
cowardly
the Brain.
dog.
Yeah, nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Now that is a more common answer than you understand. Like
That's insane.
like it's crazy. All right, last two questions. Best era of music, and if there was a concert, any concert that you could attend.
Best era of music. I would say 2000s. The 2000s provided so because I think I was born in '93, so I heard music, but once I really was like able to listen to my own music, I think like the 2000s was a really was a really
So
good
like
time.
2000s, like early
Just hip hop,
2000s?
like just well, okay, so 2000s R&B and like
Yeah, because like
later
Cisco
2000s
and
like hip hop. Yeah, just like, yeah, man, like it was because we still kind of got like that blend, like that fade off of like the '90s R&B, but like
yeah.
it was kind of like for our taste, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah. Used to
you
listen
know,
to like Cisco, Joe, um, gosh, and then like hip hop, you had DMX, God bless the dead. Um, this is gonna be a bad one because he just went to jail, but like Mystical and um like oh god. But just rappers like that, I ain't endorsing none of that. But
yeah.
that was who was on the radio. Last question, ask it to everybody. Why does kindness matter to you?
Oh, hold on. Before you say, okay, and also as far as a concert, if there was a way, if Michael Jackson was still, I really wish I could have went to a Michael Jackson concert, bro.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
I got to squeeze this question in. Michael
yeah.
Jackson or Prince?
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Oh, I don't
Michael
know.
Jackson, man. Like I rock with Prince, but like, come on, man. Like I saw this. Somebody made a video, like a mashup on Twitter, and it was like I think it was from like 1960 something. Like it was like Michael Jackson's like first song, and they showed like all of his like music and hits till like 2010. I was like, bro, like the run this man went on is just
It was different. It was. Uh,
like think
I
about
don't.
it, bro. Like he ain't made no new music in so long, but like we still like it
Everybody's.
hits whenever you like it hits, bro. Anybody, no matter what age, race, size, color, gender, like it don't matter. You listening.
Dang. That's that. I love Prince. That's tough because I love Michael Jackson too. That's tough, man. When he died, I have like I was actually sad like when Bernie Mac died, but when Michael Jackson died, I was like that was like an American
Insane. Yeah.
tragedy.
Tragedy, bro.
I remember that because there were people where I think I was at my mom's job or something. They were crying and
Crying.
everything. I was
Yeah, bro.
I remember that. That was like so dark. Oh, dang that I'm gonna have to go and listen to and just the he had and I will say this because if you didn't like the new Michael Jackson, you had to like Jackson 5. Like he
You got
had something for
yeah,
Jackson
bro.
5. All right, all right, all right. Why does kindness matter to you?
So to me, I feel like kindness matters because you don't really know, like day to day, you don't really know what like somebody else going through, you know. Obviously we've all, battled something or something at some point in life. So you don't really know the walk somebody taking on like a daily basis. So, a simple act of kindness can go so far. It ain't about just giving somebody something. It's just about, having manners, just being polite, because you don't know how that can really affect the next person. So that's why it matters to me.
Marvin, you have survived down the home stretch. You definitely on the gold medal stand representing the 407 with the best of them. Appreciate you coming on the show. Tell the people where they can find you and support your journey.
Hey man, for appreciate you having me, man. We definitely chop it up at some point during this season. As I'm
Yes.
holding a gold medal or something or
Oh, for
two.
sure.
But y'all can find me at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Brace Yourself, BRACEYASELF. I'm active on Twitter all the time, so definitely come find me.
Man, appreciate you. We rooting for you. Obviously, got to root for the hometown squad here in
Sure.
Orlando. Everybody listening, hope you enjoyed your holiday. Merry Christmas to all. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Thank you, man.